Let us carefully evaluate this. It requires the use of Bodmas, and we are going to take it gradually. First, we need to start with the brackets, but there are a lot of brackets here. So let's start with the biggest bracket. Here we have -3 in a bracket. There's really nothing to do inside this bracket because nothing to evaluate. So let's ignore this bracket and come this way. We have a coily bracket here at the start, and we have a coily bracket at the end. What it means is that everything here is inside a coily bracket. So we are going to start with the coily bracket. When we go into the coily bracket, we have a square bracket here, and this ends the square bracket, which means everything here is happening or should be resolved within the square bracket. We have a simple bracket here having -12 all over 5. Nothing to express inside this bracket. So within this coily bracket, the big coily bracket, our focus will be inside this square bracket. Now, inside this square bracket, we have -1 over 3 in a bracket. Nothing to evaluate within this small bracket. But we have 8 minus 4 inside the bracket within this square bracket. Of course, 8 minus 4 is something we can evaluate. So we start with 8 minus 4. Of course, 8 minus 4 is 4. This expression now reduces to, so this will be equal to -3 in a bracket divided by, we still have the coily bracket. Then within the coily bracket, we have a square bracket. And inside the square bracket, we have -1 over 3 divided by 8 minus 4 has been reduced to 4. This is the close of the square bracket. So the first thing we did was to simplify 8 minus 4 to give us 4. We are still working within the square bracket because we can still evaluate something there. So within the square bracket, we are having -1 over 3 divided by 4. That is what we want to simplify now. -1 over 3 divided by 4 can be simplified by changing this division to multiplication. If we change division to multiplication, we invert the divisor. What is the inverse of 4? The inverse of 4 is 1 over 4. So we change this to multiplication and change this to 1 over 4. And that will be our next step. -3 divided by the coily bracket again. We are maintaining this here. This division is also here. We have changed this division in the square bracket to multiplication, and we have inverted this 4 to 1 over 4. Now it becomes easy. 1 times 1 gives us 1. 3 times 4 gives us 12. But there is a negative, so this expression reduces to -1 over 12. So we now have -3 in a bracket divided by our coily bracket is there again, and this square bracket has been reduced to -1 over 12. 1 times 1 giving us 1, 3 times 4 gives us 12, negative is here, so we retain the negative. And again, we maintain our division and this last expression here. Now we're still working on the coily bracket. Inside the coily bracket, we now have two expressions, -1 over 12 divided by -12 over 5. So we have these two expressions that we can evaluate within the coily bracket. So let's go there. Similarly, we change this division to multiplication and we take the inverse of the divisor. By inverse, the 5 goes up, the 12 comes down. And now we have -3 divided by, this is our coily bracket. I've taken out the square bracket because we are evaluating it. We have -1 over 12. This division is changed to multiplication, and we take the inverse, 5 over 12. 5 over 12. The negative has to be maintained. Now we can now evaluate everything within this coily bracket. Negative times negative will give us positive. 1 times 5 will give us 5 at the numerator. 12 times 12 will give us 144 at the denominator. So inside this bracket, we now have -3 divided by 5 over 144. 1 times 5 giving us 5, 12 times 12 giving us 144, negative times negative is positive, so no more negative here. So you can see that we have ended up simplifying what is in this curly bracket that was this to a simple fraction of 5 over 144 within the curly bracket. At this point, we can take away the brackets and solve further. Let's move to the next page. So this is what we've got, right? If we change this division to multiplication, we take the inverse of this again. This time around, we take away the brackets because they are no longer needed. And this reduces to negative 3. The division changes to multiplication, and this fraction inverts to 144 over 5. It is now very simple. We have 3 here times 144 gives us 432. And again, 5 at the denominator. The negative has to be maintained because there is no sign here that will change it. So the answer becomes negative 432 over 5. Very simple, very straightforward. The trick about Bodmas of this nature is just being careful. It is very simple, but you just have to take it a step at a time and being very, very careful. Otherwise, you will muddle things up. Now you can see it is simple. I have another simple one for you. You are to solve this and put your answer in the comment section. Very simple, but be careful. Do it step by step. Take note of the brackets and you will definitely get the correct answer. Thank you for watching and see you in our next video.